Hi guys, welcome back to Chess Matthew. So on this video, I will show you on how to win with a DUNST opening in just 12 moves. So the DUNST opening start with the move Knight to C3. Here we shall see that after Knight to C3, it controls now the center via E4 and D5. So here my opponent just played the move E5, also trying to control the center with E5 pawn and also an attack on the D4 on our center of white. But here I immediately play the move Knight to F3, attacking this undefended pawn on E5 with my knight. And here my opponent plays the move Knight to C6, defending his undefended pawn with his knight on C6. And here I start to open up some lines for my bishop and also trying to control the center with E4. So here after E4, I also control the D5 and opening some lines for my bishop. And after E4, my opponent plays the move Knight to F6, trying to develop his pieces on the king side and also controlling the center. And here I immediately play the move Bishop to C4, completing my development on my king side so that I can castle soon. And here, after the move Bishop to C4, my opponent is not afraid to take a pawn with the move Knight takes to E5. Because after Knight takes to E5, let's say for example I'll capture that knight, then there is a D5, trying to fork my bishop and knight, trying to regain also the piece, and with the tempo of opening some lines for his bishop. So after the takes on E4, I just play on this position with the move D4, trying to attack the E5 pawn twice with my pawn and knight. But after this D4, we shall see that this pawn was also attacked twice and defended by the two pieces. So here again, my opponent immediately capture my pawn on D4 with e takes to D4. And after e takes to D4, I surprise now my opponent here by playing just a castle on the king side. So we shall see that my knight was under attack by the pawn of black, in which mathematically the pawn was just 1 point while my knight is 3 pawns. So here my opponent immediately capture my knight on C3. We shall see that my king now has already been castled and I have some of my pieces in which actually on a developing square. So here I start to attack again the block with a surprise of bishop takes F7, trying to ruin the right to castle the block. And after king takes F7 and queen to D5, we shall see that the king was under attack by our queen, and I can actually take back my sacrificed pieces with a compensation of active piece. So here after queen to D5, giving a check, my opponent here just retreat his king to A8. And after king to A8, I reinforce my attack on the center with the move rook to E1, pinning this knight, so this knight can no longer go anywhere, and later on we can capture that knight. So here my opponent tries to close the open file on the E file with bishop to 7, and again here I just pick the knight on E4, trying to put my rook on the active square and again pinning his bishop. So after this position, still I am a piece down and a pawn down, but my pieces here was on a active square while the black still sleeping on his comp. So here after rook takes to E4, the white here has also tried to play the move bishop to G5, pinning down this bishop while giving some another pressure and another attacker to the bishop on D7. So here my opponent here just blundered because he's panicking that maybe I will play the move bishop to G5 and his bishop on E7 will be pressured and I can bring back my deficit materials after an exchange on E7. So he played the move H6, stopping any G5 hop with his H6 pawn. But after H6, I immediately grab that pawn with bishop takes H6. So here again my opponent was so happy that this bishop is just a desperate attack for him, and he immediately grabbed that bishop with rook takes h6, but after rook takes h6, it's already now a checkmate after queen to g8, because the king has no escaping square to go from the check of the queen on g8. This bishop can no longer defend the check because it was pinned on the rook on e4. So again, the king has no escape, and he cannot actually capture the checking pieces, he cannot cover, so it is already now a checkmate. So just a recap, with the DUNST opening, I win in just 12 moves with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and please don't forget to subscribe.